Stay tuned for the Joan Quinn Profiles. As an editor for Andy Warhol's Interview, the Los Angeles Herald-Examiner, LA Style, and Detour magazines, Joan covered the social set, the Hollywood hotshots, the international art scene, the mysteries of food, the excitement of travel, and the fabulous world of fashion. Joan continues to find creative people on the cutting edge who make things happen. Here's Joan Agajanian Quinn.
Hi, I'm Joan Quinn, and welcome to the Joan Quinn Profiles. Waiting to be profiled are actress Shannon Tweed and director Martin Bedoyan. Canadian-born, Newfoundland-raised actress Shannon Tweed lived on a mink ranch with 6 brothers and sisters.
Can't even say that without laughing, can you?
Mink ranch. She graduated from Mount Royal Collegiate in Saskatchewan. Wrong. Is that right?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Is that right?
Say that quickly.
In 1977, Shannon was crowned Miss Ottawa Valley and went on to be 4th in the Miss Canada pageant. You've seen her on TV and what they call B-movies. We'll talk to you about that later. She gained fame as a Playmate in 1981 as Playmate of the Month, and in 1982, Playmate of the Year. And Shannon, would your life have been different if you won the Miss Canada contest?
You know, maybe. I don't know.
Did
but
you
I
ever
might have
think?
stayed up in Canada then. So
Yeah.
maybe none of this good stuff would have happened to me.
That would be interesting.
No, because I might have been in Canada with 7 kids in a...
Or you could have been the Queen of Canada.
You know?
Yeah, who knows?
Now I'm in the old bunny home, so you know.
You knew you were talented because you won the
Talent
Award.
There's a funny story behind that, and that the girl who I sang, not against, but we competed in the same pageant. One of the girls who was singing was Miss Niagara Falls, and I believe her name was Denise, and she turned out to be Vanity in Prince's band.
Oh, she.
Vanity,
and you beat
and
her.
I whooped her. See?
Yeah.
But then I didn't go on to sing.
What happened to your singing career?
I never really wanted to do that. I mean, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I didn't want to do that. And so I used it as a talent for the competition, but then I didn't pursue it.
But you ended up with a music person. Is that
ridiculous,
bizarre?
isn't
It
it?
is.
Yeah.
Gene Simmons for what, 23 years?
And one that can't sing.
Oh, he doesn't sing?
No, I'm just kidding. He sings.
Yeah, I'm believing you.
You can call it that.
No. Is that, I mean, do you sing together?
Well, you know, we're a pretty musical family, but I don't know that anyone's going to pursue it as a career except Gene. Yeah.
Well, you didn't want to be a singer. You wanted to be an actress. You were in over 60 films.
No, not
yes,
60.
60. You
Yeah,
were on
I think
soap
some of them
operas.
are renamed.
Oh, is it?
I did way more television, though.
Did you? You did a lot of TV.
I did a lot of TV.
And you did the soap operas.
I did Days of Our Lives. I did Falcon Crest and a show called Fly By Night for CBS.
Was it hard to do that?
No, I love
daily?
that.
Oh,
I love that. I love sitcom. It's fun. I did Married with Children and Frasier and a lot of.
But when you were doing daytime, was it hard?
I like daytime. I like it because it's stable and you know where you're going to be and what you're going to be doing.
But how do you learn your lines so fast?
It's uncanny that I can't remember anyone's name, but I can remember 40 pages of dialogue. I don't know how it happens. It's just a type of thing I can remember. Some people are good with numbers and some are good with names, and I'm good with dialogue. As long as it's well written and makes sense, you can sort of...
You remember
it makes sense to you to say it, so it's easy to remember.
We talked about B-movies.
Yeah.
Do they still make B-movies, or are they called independent movies?
They are called independent movies. I mean, depending on who's in them and what the budget was.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I thought.
So if you have a low budget, you get a bad rap. So if you can't
So you
find
call
any
it a
money,
B-movie?
you call it a B-movie.
Is that it? And you acted with your sister Tracy.
She did one of them. Maybe 2.
Is she
one.
still in the business?
She never really pursued it.
Oh,
no.
she didn't. But you were like twins, weren't you, when you first came to Hollywood?
You know what? She's 8 years my junior, so don't tell her that.
No, I'm telling you. But it was very close, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. We're still very tight. Yeah.
And along the way, you wrote your autobiography.
Just
Kiss and Tell, Shannon Tweed.
2 years ago.
Tell us about what's in there.
All the juice.
Oh, come on, a little bit more.
All the juice is in there. It starts, you know, from where I was born, and when you were born in Newfoundland and went to school in Dildo.
Is that the name of your town?
That's a town. and you're raised on a mink ranch. You know, it sort of had to happen that I'd become a playmate.
Your
You know,
father-
just that sort of fell into place.
But you weren't wearing mink coats
No,
at
it's
that
funny.
time.
During the time my father raised mink, it was a very good business, and then sort of the bottom fell out of it when the fake fur became a trend in the 60s and 70s. So they were struggling a little, but it was a mink ranch nonetheless. And then the book tells a story about how my father had a car accident, and my mom had to sort of take care of her 7 children by herself.
So many
And
kids.
so it's more like it's a heartwarming story about my mom as much as it is about me at the end.
So being in that family, it did train you
For something.
about being a mother.
I know.
I think if you're talking about your mom,
Yeah. I mean, we all had to take care of each other at some point, and I was 3rd oldest. There were 4 younger than I was, so there was always someone in diapers or, falling through the lake, falling through the ice, or getting lost, or up a tree and can't get down,
did everyone come here?
No,
then?
no. My sister followed me here about 6 months after I arrived at the Playboy Mansion. I stayed there, and but my family's still in Canada and scattered around the world.
So how did that happen? How did you get to the Playboy Mansion?
Well, after the Miss Canada pageant, I was still struggling model/waitress in Canada, and I heard that the Scouts were in town, and I asked my then modeling agent if she could get me a meeting with the photographer that was in town shooting for Playboy.
Oh, you
And,
knew that Playboy was there.
Yeah,
Scouts
so I
for
asked
Playboy.
her to do
Oh,
that,
I see.
and so she got me in to see him, and we hit it off. And his wife was there, and some of the makeup artists and set people, and they were having a makeshift sort of setup where they would test girls and then send the photo down to Hef to see if he wanted to pursue shooting any of them for the magazine. And he kept submitting my picture, and Hef kept saying no.
Is that right?
So it took me the 4 times to get in.
But he was persistent.
And believe it or not, I had to eat food because I was such a stick, such a thin, tall.
You mean as they were
thing.
taking your photographs?
No, I mean I had to over time
Yeah.
gain weight because it was too thin.
So you won.
There is such a thing, people.
Or you won. You won.
I won. I know. I got in, and then they shot my centerfold in Chicago, and after I was given a month. It was November of '81. I was invited to a party at the Playboy Mansion that they have a yearly.
Oh, you were given a month.
Given a month.
Excuse
So
me.
your
You were
published
given
date.
the month.
Your published date.
Okay.
And
Miss
then
November?
Miss November.
I'm a little slow here.
No, that's
sorry.
okay. And then I was invited to the annual Midsummer Night's Dream party at the Playboy Mansion. And after I met Hef, and he realized I could be maybe a good representative of his magazine, that he offered me the Playmate of the Year.
Was that all in Chicago?
No, that was
You
in.
came back here.
Came to LA for that party, and so I said, I'd love to do that, and it's a bigger cash award, and it enabled me to move.
Were you taking
So-
acting lessons?
I wasn't, and I still haven't.
You still haven't? You've never
No,
taken acting lessons?
I really should have, but but
How'd you get cast in those roles?
the first role I had was a movie called, it was a ski movie called Hot Dog, and it was shot by, who's now a big director, Peter Markle, and David Naughton was in it. He was American Werewolf in London, and there's always sort of people who have done something or moved on to something bigger in all the movies that I've done. So because they're always the starting out movie for somebody,
But it was a starting out movie for you because you're doing
Right.
A&E's Family Jewels.
I know. Now I am.
But isn't that big?
I know. No, well, yeah, I guess.
And how do you do that? How do you do that?
We're shooting a reality show.
How do they follow you around all the time?
Not all the time, which is the good news.
They didn't come here.
They didn't come here, but we did shoot this morning.
Oh,
so
I see.
I should have asked them to come here, Joan.
No. But so 23 years with the same man.
Yes, 24.
24, excuse me.
It's okay.
And you have 2
I'm
kids.
counting. We have 2 kids. They're not kids anymore, almost. Nick is 18 and Sophie's 15.
So did you try to have their childhood be similar to your childhood?
It's impossible. It's impossible not only because we have